the business meeting. We have an inspiration from Jason. And then we're gonna go through the committee's teams and learn a little bit about that. Whatever we don't get with the team this week, we'll do that future comments. There's a lot of teams that I think there's gonna be some questions too. We don't usually have people that ask questions, so want to make it a little engaging. So first announcement, you saw my email hopefully about the club, but it was a great parade. We had a perfect day. It was a great race, perfect times. One of the people that I wanted to really thank in person is our race doctor, which did an awesome job really with the symphony of the whole race. And that's our limit. Party. I guess it's not speech. I'll go on with the song.
Oh, I'll use the introduction. We're going to sing Just Land 40 was written as a response to Berlin's. Guthrie felt that God Bless America presented country, ignoring the economic hardships and social inequities he witnessed during his travels. He did use the melody of a Carter family gospel song called When the World's on Fire. The song celebrates the natural beauty and vastness of the United States with verses referencing California, New York Island, Redwood Forest, and Gulf Stream waters. Almost sing that, right? It emphasizes that the land belongs to everyone, using the refrain, this land is made from you and me. Some of the original verses I was not aware of. They had been kind of deleted, from familiar with. And we'll sing those today. The original verses were less commonly sung because they touched on social issues like private property and the plight of the poor and the hungry. These verses were initially removed from the song's popular version, but later, and meaning more recently, in the last decade or so, were added back in. So this land is your land is considered one of the most important and influential American folk songs. So if everyone would stand, and Debbie will cue us up. The images on this are really beautiful. So and I hope you're all in good voice. I'll keep my voice.
This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I was walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway. I saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I've roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sands of her diamond deserts, and all around me a voice was sounding. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land, for New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. When the sun came shining and I was strolling, and the wheat fields waving, and the dust clouds rolling, and the fog was lifting, a voice was chanting. This land was made for you and me. As I went walking, I saw a sign there, and on the sign it said no trespassing, but on the other side it did nothing. That side was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. In the shadow of the steeple, I saw my people. By the relief office, I've seen my people as they stood there hungry. I stood there asking, is this land made for you and me? Nobody living can ever stop me as I go walking that freedom highway. Nobody living can ever make me turn back. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land is your land, this land is my land. From California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. This land was made for you and me.
This
I like pronunciation. Inspiration.
is how to get in shape. You want to drop? Yep.
Very good. Probably doesn't resonate in this room as much, but that song in the video really reminded me of Pizza Hut in South Burlington. Did you guys ever go there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the theming was great, and there was like redwoods in New York, and like basically everything we talked about was a hole on that course. So I was originally going to do this last week, and I had just found this poem in my daughter's backpack, and we were cleaning it out for camp. Again, not sure how many people have little kids, but maybe grandkids. And since COVID, it seems like it's pretty easy to worry about them and the world they're growing up in. Makes, you know, you question yourself a little bit, how good of a job you're doing. So this poem, my daughter wrote happiness, which obviously made me happy too. So this is written by an 11-year-old. So bear with me. I go outside, the sun, a blanket of warmth wraps around me, setting me free. You and me under our tree, best friends, never an end. This 1 second feels so long, and the distant chatter of people blend together in song. The breeze and the trees, the dandelions as bright and yellow as the sun. No one can ever stop this fun. The dewy grass, my sun-kissed skin, and on my face, it's just a grin. I feel it now, deep in my heart. The stress and struggle of fixing some broken is gone. And here I lay with the people who care. There is not 1 second I would spare. I finally found you, the sky, the sun, the trees, and the dew. You make me feel like I belong. I haven't felt this way in so dang long. The air, the water, the sun and the sky, my love fills my heart. I've waited all winter for this moment. The sun picks me up, my feet off the ground. I think I finally found what everyone is looking for, happiness.
Awesome.
Maybe have been to a big meeting or where we have teams. And what they'll do is they will talk about, you know, a little bit of what their purpose is, what they do, and who's on the team, and kind of where they went and where they're going. So I'm actually gonna go in that particular order. I'm gonna have you come up first. And I think Barb.
And I,
Yeah, Barb is gonna go second. Fundraising goes first. And everybody gets 5 to 7 minutes. And like the Bill's Story Slam, it will be time.
okay, so I'm here to talk about fundraising for those of you, just as a reminder. The purpose of the fundraising committee is to raise money to support our charitable work. Remember, we gave money to different organizations this year and our service projects by soliciting donations from area businesses, organizations, and individuals, and holding fundraising events. The team has a couple of goals, starting now. We haven't met, so some of these goals may be edited, or we may have some additional ones once our group. Obviously, we want to engage more Rotarians. That's a word I really like, engagement. We want to grow the number, continue to grow the number of donors with in-person visits for those who feel comfortable doing that, by mail, by email solicitations. And obviously, we want to increase the amount raised. This past year, we raised $19,580 to support, again, our service projects and our charitable donations. We were dating our market piece, which we call By the Numbers, and actually, Lisa Ham, I'm giving that over to Lisa and the PR committee to do their work. Susan is on that committee, and she did the lion's share of the work anyway, so it makes sense to make that move. We currently hold 2 fundraising events, the Deb Beckett Run, 5K Run, and the Bill Skiff Story Slam. But those of you who are at the meeting, the visioning strategic planning meeting, know that we one of our top goals for this year is a very large fundraising event that, hold on to your hats, raises between $20 and $75. Now, I prefer to look at this as a 5-year effort. We're not going to 75,000. It would be miraculous, but we do that in a number of ways. And the committee will be. I have received over the course of the year probably a dozen different ideas. That the committee will be looking at and evaluating to see if it meets our goals and has potential to raise close to $20,000. And we will be coming to you with our selection, our top 2 or 3, and we have to say about that, because this is a project that fundraising is something everybody needs to get behind, obviously. Let me see if I have anything else I want to share with you. That was sort of a synopsis of it. I'm not going to go through the ideas. People on the fundraising committee last year, and I'm hoping they're going to continue, are Andy, Jen Kennedy, Howard, Marty, Jason has joined the group, as has Faith. And as I mentioned, Lisa is going to be involved, not so much as a committee member, but she's going to be there when she can, because it's integral that we coordinate what we're doing, whether it's soliciting money, letting people know who we are and how we use our money to the marketing piece. We need the PR committee's involvement, and we need it early. We don't want to just hand. Another side thing, I don't think I mentioned, whatever this fundraising event will be, it will be, the committee will be needing to pick a charity. So we think it's important that we have an identified charity that we are raising money for, like we did Bill Skiff, the heating assistance, and we are going to be actively seeking sponsors. So any of you who have ideas in terms of a large fundraising event, please let me know, and I'll share it with the committee. If you have ideas about who might be willing to support something like that charity, let me know. So that is it. Is that enough?
That's good.
Okay. All right.
Questions?
Yeah, there are questions. Go ahead. How often does that meet? We are right now. I think it's going to change. It's going to be fairly flexible. We're not going to meet until September. I mean, between vacations, which I do a fair amount of travel in August, we thought we would wait till after Labor Day to meet. And initially, we would like to meet in person and the following club meeting, so it will be a Thursday, much like we do with the board meeting. And I think it initially once a month, but maybe, that's a great question, Leslie. I honestly don't. I think we'll have to be flexible. We'll meet, and I think that's something the committee will have to decide.
And I think every committee should be thinking about that because for members who aren't, it helps to know.
Right.
What the time commitment's going to be.
Yeah. But initially, let's say right now, we're at the same time every day, once a month. And then as we refine our projects, it may require that some of the people in that committee meet more frequently. And obviously, Zoom will be available. Thank you.
The youth and education.
So I wish I was as organized as Chris was. After 20 years of doing this, and I'm turning it over to Walter, I'm gonna let him make ultimate decisions about how he'd like to run committees, etc. But I will give you an overview of what we've been doing. And any, basically, for a number of years, I was a committee of, with people coming and helping, but not meeting on a regular basis. Thank you for that. Physical, yeah. We have an agreement with the library. We work with both of them. We usually give them a grant of $500 each. And over the years, we've had a number asking them for their favorite projects and how we could support them. We've supported the bookmobile. We've supported meeting with the parents coming in with the kindergartners. We've supported various library projects dealing with computer programs, et cetera, et cetera. And so usually they give me a list of what they would like to do. And as long as they meet the requirements of coming in on the $500, and it looks like it's going to benefit, we usually say, go for it. Central School and what is the name of the others? Allenbrook. We usually grant them a grant of anywhere between $300 and $500, and they use that money again for projects of buying books for the classroom teachers and so on. And so we had an agreement of $150 worth of books. Scholastics throws in another 20 or so extra books. Turning looking at Susan with the bookstore that's going to open. Hopefully we can have some sort of an agreement that way as well. Through the schools, we've also tried to touch the needs of students. So there have been students who've needed clothing or other things, and we've tried to give them a little grant of that kind. Again, it's been me speaking to the principals, we're speaking to teachers and so on. The mentoring project we've been working with for a number of years. They came in originally to present to Rotary, I would say at least about 15, 20 years ago, almost 20 years ago. And we decided that we could help them by allowing the kids to get their books through Scholastic at the book fair, because many of these kids did not have it. $5 to $10 to buy their own books and build their own libraries. We've collected books from the library and formed a relationship with Friends of Libraries. So when they have their library sale, we've come in and been allowed to pick out at least 4 boxes of books and distribute it both to Williston schools and to the Richmond schools, because we are the Williston-Richmond book group. Rotary. We've also, over the years, helped with Thanksgiving. We used to put together huge baskets of goodies, but after COVID, we're down to giving everybody a coupon and usually for $35. I would love to go back to that because that was a real community project. We had the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts helping us back. We were able to, with Deb's help, go to the commissary and foods and so on and so forth. But as I said, it's been now diminished to just a coupon of $35. And I don't know what $35 buys today, but certainly does not buy a week's worth of food. We were usually able to give them almost $200 worth of food without us paying $200. So that was great. Over the years, we've added to that other projects. We've been doing Rotary for years. Again, COVID diminished the numbers of students who have come forth with wanting to be part of this. So we need to move our publicity and get more students to scholarships. And be glad that we extended it from $1,000 to $2,000. We would still like to give out scholarships to students who have gone through tech, and we haven't been able to get too many of those students to even apply. The speech contest we have not had any success with, but I am going to be, before I hand this over to Walter, I'm going to deal with our district to see if we can get the information earlier. Information until the end of October, early November. It's too late for the teachers to really get on board. So those are the kind of stresses and challenges we have. But I would love to see Walter get a real committee rather than be a committee of one. It shouldn't be only on his shoulders. And move from there. So Walter, I'm going to turn this to you and see if you have any ideas that things that you'd like to do.
Thank you, Todd. What do you do?
I'll just be brief. I mean, Barb's done a wonderful job over these years, and I have really big shoes to fill. And I'm going to look through all her notes and so forth, and she's already shared notes with me about what she has been doing, and then just see what we can either put a slightly different twist on, or ask for your help in some cases, and say, would you be willing to step in and help with this part? But strongly, what we'll see what will happen, and we'll start this summer. Okay, thank you. Gary.
Thank you for putting that on.
Taking over for Vince. So just imagine that. Grants and Donations Committee. So first off, I'm going to say, let's go fundraising, because the Grants and Donations Committee will be nothing if we don't raise the money. So, so that's first and foremost. So anybody hoping to be involved with fundraising, please, let's just all jump on board with that. So the Grants and Donations Committee was established a couple years ago. Susan was looking for a committee that could help the board distribute money. So we formed this committee, and Vince, being an attention to detail type person, has very meticulously created a fantastic committee team. No,
Yeah.
what are we? Okay, yeah, it's a team of people. I don't know, I'm confused though. So anyway, we get to figure out how to go about distributing money. Great problem to have, right? So currently, the members on this committee are Leslie, Armand, Jude, Chris, myself, and Jason. And we will totally love to have more members. We're going to be meeting the first Tuesday of the month at 8 a.m. via Zoom. So we're not going to change what we did last year as far as the meeting times go. The goal of this group is to help area organizations and nonprofits benefit from some money. you know, a lot of, groups have small projects. And I say small because we typically are giving out $1,000, which nowadays $1,000 really only covers small projects, but they're important, right? So, this past year, and you guys, who makes beds for little people normally so that everybody has a bed. The Williston food shelf, that a lot of the speakers that come and speak, they have projects that are going on and needs, and they apply for the grant. And so we as a team, we went out and found these people and made sure they had an application, along with Susan putting advertising our grant application server. We put it on Front Porch Forum, really got it out to the community. And we have a schedule. We'll figure that out as we go, but we start to publicize it like around January, and then we start getting applications, and then we give them a deadline, and hopefully all the applications are in by April 1st, and then we might end up having to meet more than once a month. We might do every other month for a couple weeks, or like a month or two, so that we can review all these applications, right? So we get these, we go through them individually as every team member, and then we review them as a team, and we rank them, and we all lose sleep over it because it's hard. They're all really excellent, awesome projects and causes, and you want to just give everybody what they're asking for, which if we pay $50,000, we could do that. So that's pretty much what I have. We will rely on the PR committee and fundraising, and like with all of our everything in this club, we all are connected, right? So everyone's working together somehow to benefit someone else. Leslie.
So another plug for this committee, it is a fabulous way to get to know the other Rotarians, because there are a lot of conversations that happen that don't happen really anywhere else within the club. You really get a chance to kind of know what someone's passions are, how they think about things. It's very cool. So highly recommend that.
And what we're also doing is we rely on everybody, even if you're not on the committee. If you're out in the community and you have a project, like the Beaver project, I don't remember who found that project, dude, I think. But there's so many different things happening in the community that we might not necessarily project or an organization that would benefit from a grant from us. Just reach out to one of us, and we will get them an application so that they can apply for the grant. It just is a fantastic, it's a great way for our club to get to know other organizations and other community members.
So I know you've only been in existence for a few years, but do you think there's potentially a problem if the same charity asks for a grant every year? Could you get innocently committed to giving this grant every year?
That's something that we've talked about, and you will notice that just even say the food shelf, they applied for 4 grants this year, and we gave 1. So yes, that's something we wrestle with, and have been thoughtful, and I know the board's been talking about that. It's not something we want to get in the habit of doing, but the food shelf is a little bit different, because then now do we want to do a specific fundraiser just for the food shelf? You know, that's a biggie. But yeah, would we necessarily give the same grant to an organization year after year? Not unless, as a whole, the club felt it was worthy.
There, as a person who got money from donations a lot over the years. Funders handle that by having cycles, and they say you can apply 3 years in a row, and you have to take 3 years off, for instance, or 5 years, and then you're cut off completely, or so there are rules. Yeah.
Thank you. Great question.
Getting cut off.
If you want to prestige, and it's some conversation that we're gonna have sometime this year, probably in one of the meetings. It's been kind of floated that with the money that we have in our charity, do we want to actually not give out as many every year and potentially save it up to do one big thing? Get to $25,000 and do something huge for some group. Not said now. It's something, it is something that I think everybody has an opinion on and will go in the direction that people want to go.
That means I'm out of a job.
No, we
Oh, yeah.
smaller, you have maybe 4 a year instead. So.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, this may be when you have one that problem, you know, along the lines, but what about too, the idea of always having their local invest, standing on the, in some sort of reduced bill.
I think it's a good idea. Again, I think that is gonna be if we have.
What was the idea?
Identify it. Investing, oh, sorry. So I'm gonna bring up. So while Chris is gonna. Chris, which is events planning. I intended to have it actually as 2 separate committees this year, but we're gonna combine as one. And it's gonna be under Chris for service. And Jonathan will be our event planning coordinator this year. So what does that mean? That doesn't mean he's gonna be doing all the work. If it goes, you know, story slam, that committee's still gonna do it. His job is really gonna kind of keep us on track, make sure we know what's going on in the future, get the word out, make sure we have whatever we need, but, thank you very much, John.
Well, good morning. Elena considers me 37% serious and 63% goofy.
No, it's more than that.
50-50. So I'm not here to tell jokes yet. So we just combined service and events, and I was going through the list of all the things that we do. And obviously none of this, and Saturday was awesome seeing everybody out there. I am sort of taking Andy's place, and I did that as president. I followed Andy, and it was tough shoes to fill. Basically, I was writing down some things. We have some service projects coming up that nobody in here I don't think is aware of. And one of them is, years ago, we built a little building down at Lake Iroquois where they house information about the zebra mussels and all the crap that gets on the bottom of the boat. And that building is falling apart. And it would be great to get together like the team and tear the building apart and rebuild it. It's rotting. So I know we have the usual suspects, but this might be an opportunity. I'm not sure what the budget is. I figured like 10 grand maybe to do it. No, more like 500 bucks.
Yeah.
Yeah. We can reuse some of the building. And then this weekend, I'm involved with a neighbor who is becoming an Eagle Scout, and he wants to build some outdoor closets for the Allenbrook School. So this is short notice, but if anybody's interested, maybe 1 or 2 people want to help, we're going to build this thing in his driveway, and then we're going to haul it to the school and install it at some point. So, but I was just going through the list of all the projects and reminded that none of these things work without the help of everybody. And this is my first time to speak as the service chairperson. And I promise to be organized like I am right now. But it's new for me. I'm not a big fan of meetings, but not really sure what you expect me to, but is that good?
Yeah.
All right, let's keep doing.
Questions?
Oh, no questions. I'm sorry. Leslie.
Actually, a request, because I love the service end of things.
Yeah.
I'm watching.
Okay, thank you. So I love the idea of service projects, and I hope that it's a way we can pull in more community members as well. Is there a way for us to kind of have more notice ahead of time for things that are coming up so that we can plan to be a part of those? And we can also plan to maybe. Fabulous. And there'll be a plan for us. Thank you.
Yeah, this weekend was kind of last minute. Yeah. Elizabeth?
How are you finding your service projects? Like, how are those coming in, and are you specifically looking for them, or are you just going by requests?
They're all up here.
That's not a great place for them.
Right. No, this is new for me, but they are all. But future projects and things like that, that's a good point. I'm not sure about the outreach that Rotary does as far as service projects. Don't have a really specific answer for that, but I know how to use Club Runner, maybe that'd be an idea.
Certainly, with Jonathan's help, we can get a basic list of everything we do, like,
Yeah.
gas bills, benefits, and everything.
Right.
And then Jonathan can plug in time so that later on, but some of the newer people don't even know the scope of what we, the canoe access. and all
Yeah.
that. So a list would
All
be
right.
great.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And there are a lot of things that people don't realize that are sprinkled in among a few members, and that is, there are a handful of us that help out at the food shelf, unloading the truck. And I don't know that the whole club is aware of that, but it's one of those service projects that's a big deal. I don't have time for any more questions. Danny. Yeah, go ahead.
From a committee standpoint, right? So,
Yeah.
It's, this is something that can be, shared with the rest of.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. Andy?
Sort of a duplicated comment, because a lot of what we do is a lot of good people, and we often duplicate. Yeah, I had a list, I had a calendar list. If you go on the website, the recurring events.
Yes.
MLK and Easter and whatever, but it's also gonna require that people actually go onto the website and
Yeah.
utilize their own calendars instead of saying what's coming up. So I think it is incumbent on all of the committee folks to get stuff into our nice Club Runner.
Okay.
And then it's one-stop shopping for everybody, and have plenty of notice. To be sure, there will be ramp projects that, the moment, whatever, and then we just ad lib it and we roll.
We need to kind of keep the communication in many, many places, because not everybody goes to the calendar. I've taken what Elizabeth did in her meeting notes and actually started on direct about it too. So I will actually add there, we'll just have multiple places that you can see it. And just keep it flowing. So any other questions for Chris?
Your opportunity to embarrass me. Go ahead.
So Lisa's coming up. This was, I think, the first committee that I ever joined, and so it's near and dear to my heart. But it's also the glue. Maybe I'm going to steal something from you, but it's really the glue of the club, because these guys see the project, everything that's going on, and try to do all the communication, or most of the communication for them. So I hope I didn't steal it.
Yeah, you did, so. Two meeting members and said Yeah, so I am co-chairing the art committee, this year with Leslie, who is guiding me, on this. I've been on the committee for all of 2 months, so I don't know a whole lot, so, but she has handed over the information, and we just talked about the calendar, but, so the goal of the committee, right? Communicate a consistent image across all of our messaging and promotional materials. And then from an action plan, develop and execute a plan to tell the public about Rotary and promote our club events, activities, and service projects. So as Vince mentioned, we can't operate in a silo. We have to operate in conjunction with all of the other members, all of the other committees. And that's extremely important. And one of the reasons why Chris reached out on the fundraising to kind of try to create some synergies between the PR committee and what fundraising is doing. So our committee, because team, Leslie started early to recruit me into this before the end of the year and the beginning of the new year. And so we've gotten a kind of a head start on getting new members involved. So our existing members are the two of us, Susan, Erin, Debbie, and Terry. And then we have added Faith, Kel, and Matthew. So we meet monthly, usually first Monday of the month or so, and then talk as needed. But right, there are two things in addition. So this is the calendar, and I can forward it to anybody that wants it. Can sync it up with the other groups that have kept calendars. We also have it just kind of in a list format. Our job is to support all of these events, and the calendar format is important because we start months earlier than the actual event planning for it. But we do have two things that we want to work on in the coming year that aren't necessarily related to a specific event. One is the social media, kind of an area where we have lapsed activity in previous years, and we're going to be beefing that up into the new year across multiple platforms, and also our brand. During the visioning session, it was very obvious, right, that we weren't necessarily good about promoting ourselves and making sure that the Rotary name is attached to every single thing that we did. The Rotary does stories when the Rotary did that, but the Rotary does even having signs out that say Rotary meeting here today. Things along those lines. So we'll be focusing as a team on those items and anything else that the other communities bring to us. Any questions?
No, I was going to say Rotary stickers when we give out books and things like that would be helpful.
Could you repeat what she said?
I couldn't hear what she said.
Rotary stickers for handout books.
When we hand out books, so we can put in there.
That's great. Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
So if we can get those
Yeah,
printed
any
out.
kind of printed materials, banners, the stickers that were handed out at the parade, all kinds of things like that. We'd be.
At the convention, they told us you must be on TikTok and Instagram. Just
Yeah.
saying.
Yes, we're working on connecting our Instagram account to the Facebook account, and we're having trouble. So right now that to use those, it's still two separate posts instead of having it automatically. We have not talked about TikTok in that one. We'll have to.
And that came from somebody under the authority.
Yes. Well, there's Brandon.
Any other questions?
Any other questions?
We'll do some TikTok dancing.
I thought we banned TikTok. What's going on with TikTok?
There's three more. I am only going to go for about 1 minute on the other two. They actually don't have formal committees. And I'm looking for somebody to chair it. Now, since these are new committees that are going to be formed, don't feel daunted. You're going to have a co-chair. If you want me on the committee, these two, I will gladly join. If you want me to heck out, that's fine too. So, membership, it really is all about promoting membership. It's gain and retain. Gain and retain. So we're gonna have a goal. All of these things are gonna have SMART goals. I think you saw that. And those are actually kind of like numbers, something that we can know that we're going in the right direction. That's gonna come in the next 6.
I would also say team to be on.
We will. And but what I'll say is I think most new members now are actually on a committee. So thank you.
I think that every member, period, needs to be on at least one committee, which I actually know that in this situation,
That would be wonderful.
I think that would be.
Yeah, and again, I think when I had my meeting last week, those team meetings, those committee meetings are beyond what the scope that talk. You get to talk rather than care. You really get to get the feel of what's going on in our club. You don't always get it because we have speakers and so on that will, those are really opportunities. The last one is foundation. And foundation. Many people might think that this is going to be something that we're going to put our hands out and say, please give to Rotary so we can get that foundation. That may be a small portion of it. What the real intent is that this club starts looking beyond the community and starts looking international. Now, we haven't had grant before. It'll be many, many years never have a grant to do that. We'll either have to have a sister club someplace in Guatemala or someplace. And we have something going on. They already have sister things that we can kind of piggyback with. This person would just help us educate what's going on, what are the 7 areas of focus, and help us to move forward into the international arena if we want to. And again, this is all about you guys, and we will discuss that in great detail in the future.
Charlie.
I think I accidentally joined the district's international project thing I happened to be we were at breakfast in Calgary with and I was having conversation and I got roped in. So I'm definitely interested and we're gonna no. No, but I
Okay.
Barb was Charlie to do it. I vote for Charlie.
Yeah, so you want to be actually the chairman?
Yeah.
Excellent. So we got
Had
Yes.
relationships with various clubs brought
Yeah.
years, and we've done exchanges, there's a whole history.
excellent, excellent. So we'll move that forward. I'm gonna bring up Chris, unless there's any other questions while Chris is coming up here. Chris, happy time. You don't have to speak again, Chris.
Do you have to tell jokes? Yeah.
Jason and I have talked about being on membership committee. We would really like it if somebody else would be the chair for the committee going forward, but as secretary, I have a lot to offer just because I've been doing a lot of it, and I think it can help form a pretty easy structure for that committee. So just please joining the.
Does somebody not here have a ticket? Somebody who didn't? Would you pick them?
Oh, I would do that.
It's very on the bottom.
Yeah, pick them up, pick them up.
Make some money.
Table membership.
Okay. The number is 253.
Oh, thank you.
Next.
Feel like it's-
Oh, come on. What's happened?
Ellie, good morning.
Where's my mouse?
$5 for Marty and Kathy and both Charter unsuccessful. Then I can, there's really a good night to run.
I have $5 here. First dollar for Chris, and then rousing, inspirational. This name is Darling. Great song to start the day with. $1 for Jason and his daughter. Nice inspiration. $1 for the club and all those committee members. Great job there. $1 for prayers, and we offer up to those folks in the south there, Texas, Mexico, not far, but was devastating. Heart goes out to them. And $1, a couple. When Nick did his classification, with age comes wisdom, and how old do you have to be to get wisdom? Well, I have a T-shirt as a corollary. It says, so how old do you have to be? What is this old enough to know better than been kicking? Kel, by the way, what kind of jacket does an octopus wear? An army jacket.
Better with a
Yeah, I don't even know what to do. Oh. So, I just want to talk here for my, for the welcome that I received since I've been here. It's been really amazing. And I had so much fun kind of going through Red Path right now. It's been wonderful to walk into this community and just feel like I'm just walking into friends and, motivated friends doing a lot of stuff, which is even better. So I really appreciate it. Especially listening to kind of and a bug for kid poetry. That was awesome. So